this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Tired of spills and stains on your sofa? Wash away your worries with Anna. Anna is the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly prices. That's right, sofas start at just $699. Enjoy a no-risk experience with pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and changeable slip covers made with performance fabric. Experience cloud-like comfort with high-resilience foam that's hypoallergenic and never needs fluffing. The sturdy steel frame ensures longevity, and the modular pieces can be rearranged anytime. Shop WashableSofas.com for up to 60% off site-wide, backed by a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not absolutely in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping or restocking fees. Every penny back. Upgrade now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change, and certain restrictions may apply.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. So when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it comes to making an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the one you'll call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Hey, this is U.S. Olympic gold medalist Tara Davis Woodhull.
And I'm U.S. Paralympic gold medalist Hunter Woodhull.
As athletes, our lives are about having a clear path.
And a team that you can absolutely trust.
So when it came to getting the best mortgage,
we chose PennyMac.
PennyMac is proud to be the official mortgage provider of Team USA and you.
Learn more at pennymac.com. PennyMac Loan Services, LLC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 35953. Licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Conditions and restrictions may apply.
What's branding my sex slaves? Oh boy, that's a bad intro. Oh my gosh. When Sophie's not here, this gives off the rails so hard. I'm Robert Evans, host of Behind the Bastards, where we tell you about all the worst people in all of history. My guest today, Anna Salinas. Anna, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here.
Now, Anna, you are, of course, the author/artiste behind Bad Comics by Anna.
That's correct.
Lovely comics.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to plug up at the top?
Oh, God. Yeah, if you're in LA, come out to UCB. I perform on some teams and check them out.
Well, UCB, about a year ago today, we talked, well, not today, but about a year ago, we talked about how it's a little bit culty, and we talked about that in the context of a guy who is definitely a cult leader named Keith motherfucking Raniere.
We did. That's so interesting because an article came out about UCB like 2 days ago that really hinted at its cultiness, and we are checking in about a real cult.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, like, I do want to reiterate when I talk, because I have a lot of friends who are in UCB, considered one part of their lives.
Yeah, you got to be careful. This episode could get pulled if you trash talk it.
Could get pulled if I trash talk it. Thankfully, that's never happened before. Any really good thing is going to have a couple of little culty elements to it,
Right.
Like, I'm a big fan of Burning Man regional events. There's a little bit of that.
A little bit.
A little bit. The key is like no cult leader. The key is the things that make a cult, like love bombing and stuff like that. If there's no purpose behind it, if it's just a way to make people feel welcome, then it's not necessarily a toxic thing. like, there's all these things that can be pieces of a cult, but if you don't have all of the pieces, it can just be like a bunch of buddies learning how to do improv together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, which doesn't mean that there's not addictive aspects to that, or they can't have problematic aspects to that. But,
Yes. And the pay-in aspects.
Yeah, and the pay-in aspects.
Where you pay more to be more in it.
Yeah, that's always the thing I think that's one of the keys, in addition to like having a cult leaders potentially, is like how much money is being asked of people. Yeah.
And I guess when it's like a full-on cult, Keith Raniere style cult, that cult leader is making all the money themselves.
Yes. And now that we're back to Keith Raniere, today's episode is, of course...
I say it wrong every time.
Raniere? Yeah, I think it's Raniere, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, and I know I knew it when we did it last time. But today we're talking about the end of Keith Raniere.
Yeah.
Because earlier this month, in June of 2019, Keith Raniere was convicted of running a sex cult, human trafficking, racketeering, child pornography, and child sexual abuse. He faces a 20-year-to-life sentence, and although he plans to appeal his conviction, right now it looks like Vanguard will spend the rest of his life in a cold cell.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good news.
That is good news. I'm not a prisons guy.
That's true. I'm not either.
But he is one of those, like, usually I think that, like, even for, like, really bad people, like the folks behind the financial crash and whatnot, there's other things than prison that you could use to punish them or whatever. A guy like Keith does need to be locked away. He's too dangerous.
Wherever he is, he's going to do this.
Yeah.
Which is what his career has shown.
Yeah, this is the only, like, this, making cults, is the only thing he's capable of doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's his life. So, yeah, keep him away from people.
Yeah.
Now, the 6-week court case that led to his conviction has revealed a treasure trove of new information about how NXIVM, which, if you remember, is the name of his cult, spelled like NXIVM.
Spelled so confusing.
Spelled like an asshole spells it.
Yeah, when I look at it, my brain reads VIXXX.
NXIVM.
Yeah.
And to make it more fucking confusing, I learned as I was reading through like stuff about the court case that members of the cult called themselves Nixians. Which is just even more
like the president.
What?
Like a Richard Nixon.
Oh, Nixon.
Like
yeah,
a
Richard Nixon. Yeah, that if they'd called themselves the Nixians.
Yeah, Nixian politics or something.
Nixian politics, which is just yelling the N-word while drinking heavily.
Right, absolutely. And then throwing up peace signs with your fingers.
Fucking Nixon.
You
goddamn. That's going to be a fun episode of the podcast.
Oh, you haven't done him yet?
No, I mean, it's one of those things like...
There's so many to get
lot
through.
To
well,
say.
please have me for that episode because I'd love to learn about
Talk
Nixon.
about Tricky Dick Nix.
Yeah, and I mean, all I know about him I learned in that movie with Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, I think that's got most of it.
Dick,
yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's got most of it.
Yeah.
Never seen it, but I assume it's comprehensive.
It's a delightful female-driven comedy.
Just like Richard Nixon's life.
Yeah.
Now, this is kind of female-driven, but it is not a comedy. Although you could make a solid comedy out of this
Oh my
story.
God, not to be callous, but this deserves a comedy movie.
Yeah, who do you...
in the style of Vice.
Oh yeah, that's who. Yeah. That would be really solid with Allison Mack playing probably the Seagram's vodka heir.
Oh yeah.
Which one of the things that came out during the court case is that NXIVM was almost entirely funded by the Bronfmans, the Seagram's vodka girls.
Wow.
Yeah, like they really poured a lot of money into that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Seagram's vodka, are they okay? Or they're gin too?
They're not good, like in terms of the quality of their liquor.
In terms of the business model, though, they seem to be fine.
Oh, yeah, the feeling I get of the Bronfman family wealth is that they could have given hundreds of millions of dollars to Keith, and it wouldn't have mattered.
Damn.
We're talking like L. Ron Hubbard pockets here.
Wow.
Yeah.
I will say, if you're an aspiring cult leader and you listen to this podcast, which is smart.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Tips.
Absolutely.
It's very smart. This is probably one of the biggest tips you could get.
Is just don't try to con a bunch of people.
No.
Con one dumb rich kid.
Absolutely.
Really rich kid.
Yeah, bottomless pit of inherited wealth.
Yeah, like could throw away passenger jets every month rich kid.
Yeah, and they're out here.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. And until we starving masses eat them, Con them out of their money. Because I will not write about someone who just cons rich kids out of their money.
No, that's a Robin Hood figure.
And if Keith Raniere had just been conning the Bronfmans out of tens of millions of dollars, be cool with him.
And if that's all he had done, just none of the sex cult stuff.
None of the sex cult stuff, which we're gonna mostly talk about the sex cult stuff today. So, in March 2018, Raniere and his followers acted in the best traditions of scammers throughout history and fled the United States for Mexico. This was because numerous law enforcement agencies had begun investigating Keith and NXIVM for their numerous crimes. Now, as everyone listening knows, moving is an extremely stressful process. Whether you're heading into a new apartment 2 blocks away or fleeing the country, it always sucks.
Yeah.
And after getting settled into Puerto Vallarta, Keith decided he and his followers needed a recommitment ceremony, which, you got to settle back in.
A recommitment
ceremony, yeah.
That's smart. Mm-hmm. That's like I've noticed morale dropping. I just want to make sure everyone's psyched.
Yeah. And these are he had gone from his normal stable, his harem, I guess you might call it, was like 20, 21, 22 different women.
Right.
And he was down to like 7 when they moved to Puerto Vallarta. It's the same thing. You're gonna break a couple of knicknacks when you move. When I moved recently,
you purge.
I lost a beautiful inn table that I loved.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, but you get more.
But you get more experience. But once you settle down, and that's what Keith was trying to do.
Absolutely.
You lose a dozen or so sex slaves, but then you recommit to the ones you have.
And when we say lose, were they like in the press?
No, I think
talking about it, or
I think they just weren't quite loyal enough to move to Mexico with their cult leader.
Quietly slipped away.
Yeah, either that, or it may have just been that like his funding got a little tighter, and he could only afford to move so many of these women with him.
Right.
I don't know the exact reason.
Okay.
One of the women who went along with him is Lauren Salzman, who was Keith's long-term partner in NXIVM and one of his first-line slaves in the women's group DOS, which, of course, translates in Latin, like there's an acronym in Latin for women under a submissive master, I think is like the rough translation. Jesus. Yeah, fucking hate. Salzman claimed on the stand when she testified against Keith that the ceremony was meant to include group oral sex to do something special for Keith. Quote, honestly, I didn't want to do a recommitment ceremony. I didn't want to start DOS again. We had to believe that we were under possible indictment, but I didn't feel like it was my option to not go forward with their ceremony. So Salzman claims that she's starting to get cold feet at this point, and she's been with him for like years and years and years.
Right. Well, they're about to be arrested.
And I wonder how much of her contrition and like expressed disgust here is legitimate, because I could totally see her being fucking tired of this guy.
You never know, though. You never know.
She could just,
because she's gone along this far.
Yeah.
And I mean, at this point, you get the sense that everyone feels the shadow of the law.
And it's sort of hard to tell how much of their continuing devotion to him is like in for a penny, in for a pound, and how much of it is legitimately being taken in by the grift. But we'll talk a little bit more about that as this rolls along.
Okay.
So as the members of Keith's sex cult prepared to engage in their mass blowjob campaign, federal agents with rifles posted up around the house. Salzman and several slaves had been taking a pre-orgy nap with Keith. She says she went into the kitchen to make a smoothie when another first-line slave ran in from the front room and told her, police are out the door, and they are looking for Keith. Quote, honestly, I went into one mode, protect Keith. I closed all the doors, all the blinds, and I looked out the window and all I could see was federal agents with machine guns surrounding the property, and Keith refused to leave. He wanted to stay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Was she really making a smoothie?
Yes, she says she was like, they had like a pre-blowjob orgy nap.
Smoothie?
And then she was going to make a smoothie.
I get it. You need nutrients.
Yeah, and I feel like you want a smoothie after you do that with Keith Raniere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that part doesn't add up for me.
That part doesn't add up.
Still listening.
Mm-hmm. Now, Keith had insisted to Salzman that he was the protector of all the women in his cult. But rather than taking action to protect the women in the compound, Vanguard hid in the bathroom and desperately begged his slaves not to tell the cops he was there. My main concern was to protect Keith. It was almost automatic. I chose love over everything, just like we were taught by Keith. Now, Salzman claims it was Keith's arrest and the way he selfishly fled and abandoned his followers to hide in the bathroom that was the thing that finally lifted the scales from her eyes and made her realize she'd been conned. During the trial, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this is truly a movie waiting to happen.
Yeah.
That is your climax right there.
And McConaughey would be a great Keith Raniere.
Oh my God, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah, no, he would nail that fucking role.
Yes, he would.
Yeah,
He'd be such a good grifter.
McConaughey would also be a good guru of a sex cult.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope he's not.
I hope he's not.
Currently.
I hope he's not. I like to think better of Matthew McConaughey than that.
Yeah.
Only since the McConaissance have I wanted to think better of Matthew McConaughey.
When did the McConaissance start?
When he was on a True Detective.
True Detective,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Look,
yeah.
I didn't see Beach Bum, that Harmony Korine movie, but
Neither did I.
he looked like he was good in it.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
Yeah.
He's a good actor.
Wolf
Yeah.
of Wall Street.
Pretty decent, mediocre bourbon salesman too.
Oh, that's true.
yeah. He's a solid salesman of indifferent bourbon.
That's true. Doesn't he do the Cars look? I'm getting so off topic
Yeah,
here.
we're getting very off topic.
I feel bad because this original episode was like 5 hours.
It was a lot of stuff. We have less here. What we have is real fucked up.
I'm staying on topic.
So, Salzman claims, that it was Keith's arrest and, the way he reacted that finally let her realize what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
During the trial, we heard from many, many other women other than Salzman about their own journeys with Raniere. Prosecutors claim that he called himself the smartest, most ethical person in the world. That's a direct quote. And compared himself to both Albert Einstein and Mahatma Gandhi. They made the wise decision not to let him take the stand himself, so he never testified, which I think is a good call. Don't let the cult leader testify.
I wonder, though, do you think he could have, hypnotized the jury?
I don't know. I wonder if a guy's power like that is broken if he's not one-on-one. Because Keith was never the kind of guru. Like, you look at his videos on YouTube, they never had huge, he wasn't the kind of person that, millions of people wanted to watch. I think he strikes me as the kind of person who had an intense one-on-one charisma. And that's how he kind of worked everything, which is why his cult was pretty small.
Right, he didn't, start a giant mega-church movement.
He wasn't a Hubbard type. He clearly wanted to be, but, Hubbard had that ability to hypnotize on a scale.
He didn't.
He did
Even
not.
Ted Bundy.
Even Ted Bundy.
Because he could do it from the stand.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think Raniere could do that, but I still think it's probably a good idea. Even if all you're saying is, this fucker's talked enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, which... He has.
He has, yeah.
Yeah. Among other things, the victims of Keith Raniere talked about NXIVM's most beloved tradition, Vanguard Week. Every August, members of the group, who called themselves Nixians, would spend roughly $2,000 to attend birthday celebrations for Keith in Silver Bay, New York. The center of the event were tribute ceremonies to Vanguard. A witness explained in court, there was always sort of entertainment or different kind of tribute ceremonies to Keith from the different centers, where there would be performances of singers, but it was all kind of centered around the idea of a tribute to Keith and celebrating Keith's work, sort of like a summer camp for adults.
That
doesn't sound like summer camp.
Fun if you're Keith.
Yeah, summer camp for me was learning how to start fires and kayak.
Where's the nature element?
Yeah,
here?
why? We weren't just celebrating a guy.
Maybe because you have different tribes at camp. We had 4 tribes. And they were the different centers. They were the different tribes.
Yeah, and even that doesn't sound, because that sounds like fun, kooky cultural appropriation as opposed to just tributing one guy.
What do they mean by performances? So it would be someone would come and do a song.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess there's songs about Keith and his wisdom and importance.
Because now that you said there was this oral sex thing going on in my mind, I'm all the songs would just end with Keith getting a blowjob.
Yeah, I think I
think maybe
it's a whole week of Watsky's going down, but all themed around fucking Keith Raniere.
Wow.
Yeah. Creepy.
Imagine getting, I assume it was an email invite to that birthday party.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Oh, get excited. Here's our
excited.
annual
It's Vanguard
celebration.
Week.
It's Keith's birthday.
Yeah.
You get to spend $2,000 and then come up and do a song about him.
And put on little skits about his wisdom.
Put on skits.
I bet there were skits.
Camp.
Yeah. The skit part does sound like camp.
Now I'm thinking about it. It's like camp theater.
Yeah. I kind of want to do a Vanguard Week where we all make songs about Keith Raniere just without him there.
Yes.
And without people paying $2,000.
Yes.
And we're all liquored up to hell. Yeah.
All of your listeners are going to want that to happen now.
If we ever do, this is just going to lead to me creating a cult.
Yeah.
This is just going to lead to me creating a cult. I got to be aware of that slippery.
It's a fine line.
It's a fine line. It's a fine line. And I am this close to starting a cult at any given moment.
I can tell.
Right there.
You give off that vibe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I shoot for that.
I can feel you holding yourself back.
It's I don't know what it's like. I don't have a good simile here, but I am trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
I'll fail one day, and they will.
And then you'll run for president.
Well, no, they'll catch me in the Adirondacks with like 70 or 80 people wearing like white sheets and like a cache of weapons.
Oh my God, that's so gonna happen. You'll have this long beard. Yeah. You'll have been like hunting deer for sustenance. You'll have been there for 7 weeks.
Yeah, my goal is the Branch Davidian compound with better drugs and no kids.
And no kids.
Hey, man.
Yeah, kids could happen.
No.
Okay.
No, well, because one of the drugs there will be RU-486.
Oh, yeah. Well, everyone
actually,
has
I shouldn't
to draw
joke
their
about
line.
that because that's where this goes.
No.
Yeah. I shouldn't joke about that at all.
I know. This is the part where we can joke, I think, before it gets
before we get to the
worse.
actual cult leader forcing women to have abortion. Yeah, we shouldn't joke about that at all.
That's true.
I apologize deeply.
Yeah.
If I have a cult, I won't do that.
Well, good.
It'll be a cult where women can choose to fend off the FBI in our mountain compound. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems fair.
But also men?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a
absolutely.
co-ed
Absolutely.
cult?
Yeah. No. I mean, I'll fuck whatever kind of cult members. Once it takes you over, the spirit gets in you.
Yeah.
Until the FDA or ATF burns us down.
I mean, it sounds like a commune.
Yeah, commune, cult. It's a fine line.
You just have to keep your profile low.
No, I'm not sure if it's the ATF I want to provoke or maybe the FDA, because no cult's ever been murdered by the FDA yet, and I think
do they
that could
have
be
that
fun.
Capacity?
I feel like they got some grenade launchers locked away.
Do they?
I
think the FDA is like 4 people who work for big corporations who just meet twice a month and move around some papers.
Yeah, that's the uncharitable view. The charitable view is that it's 2 very tired people trying to explain to everyone that, like, turmeric isn't medicine.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. They also serve an important function.
Oh, boy. Okay, so FBI Special Agent Michael Lever claimed in court that at its height, the organization allowed Keith to maintain a stable of 15 to 20 sex slaves at any given time. These women were forbidden from even touching another man, in line with NXIVM teachings that men were fundamentally polyamorous while women were monogamous. Again, this is just bigamy. The most disturbing story in the whole NXIVM saga is the tale of Daniela. When she was 16, her family moved to the U.S. from Mexico after hearing about Vanguard and his wonderful organization. The 6 of them moved into a 2-bedroom condo in Albany and began taking self-help classes. We don't get many details on Daniela in the court documents, but I'm going to guess her family is or was rather affluent. Now, when she moved to the U.S., Daniela had never been kissed or had any kind of sexual experience. She was introduced to Keith during his Vanguard Week celebrations, and Keith clearly fell in love with this, again, literal child. Quote, "I didn't see Keith that way, but I could see in subtle ways that he was flirting with me. Now I believe he was grooming me."
Oh, that word, grooming.
Yeah, grooming a 16-year, which, if you remember from the other episodes, Keith did a couple of times.
That was his MO.
Yeah, one of them committed suicide. Later. Oof. Yeah, Daniela claimed on the stand that their relationship quickly escalated in a sexual way, but did not immediately escalate to sex itself. That would have been too pedestrian and normal crimey for a guy like Raniere. Keith told her that they would consummate their love when she turned 18 and it was nice and legal. In the meantime, he told her she was too fat and needed to lose weight so they'd be able to bone once she was old enough.
No.
Yeah.
This is such a tool of sociopathic, manipulative dudes.
Controlling weight.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of it was even like what he was actually turned on by and how much of it was just the need for control over them. It's an easy lever to pick.
I think it's control.
Yeah.
There was a screenwriter who was not that recently outed, but like re-outed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you have an issue with saying his name? It's fucking Max Landis. Yeah, it's Max fucking Landis.
But that was a thing he did.
Yeah.
He would tell his girlfriends or girls he was dating that they were too fat and they needed to get thin. And they were anorexic.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. Maybe they were. But I feel like they talked about that. Like they already had issues with that.
Yeah, I think
he was saying.
Yeah, it's a common, it's a thing for like controlling men to like, because it's easy because like there's all these societal reinforcers too.
Yeah,
where like any woman in the world can be convinced she's fat just because of like the way that yeah, exactly,
the world works.
Yeah, Raniere or Daniela said on the stand, quote, "He said he could not share his sexual energy with someone overweight." Yeah, oof, Keith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So, we're going to talk more about what Daniela said on stage, and we will get to the horrifying revelations that make it so very inappropriate for me to have joked about RU-486 morning after pills. But first, This is maybe my worst lead into ads ever. Hey! You know what's better than gaslighting women into believing they're fat and molesting children?
Anything.
Yes, anything, but also products and services.
Yeah.
Please buy these things.
Mm-hmm.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Tired of spills and stains on your sofa? Wash away your worries with Anna. Anna is the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly prices. That's right, sofas start at just $699. Enjoy a no-risk experience with pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and changeable slip covers made with performance fabric. Experience cloud-like comfort with high-resilience foam that's hypoallergenic and never needs fluffing. The sturdy steel frame ensures longevity, and the modular pieces can be rearranged anytime. Shop WashableSofas.com for up to 60% off site-wide, backed by a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not absolutely in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping or restocking fees. Every penny back. Upgrade now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change, and certain restrictions may apply.
Hey, this is U.S. Olympic gold medalist Tara Davis-Woodhull.
And I'm U.S. Paralympic gold medalist Hunter Woodhull.
As athletes, our lives are about having a clear path.
And a team that you can absolutely trust.
So when it came to getting the best mortgage,
we chose PennyMac.
PennyMac is proud to be the official mortgage provider of Team USA and you.
Learn more at pennymac.com. PennyMac Loan Services, LLC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 35953. Licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Conditions and restrictions may apply.
Let's talk about modern home shopping. It's sort of become a fun side hobby, right? Scrolling listings at night, dreaming about kitchens you've never seen, or backyards you haven't even stepped foot in, all from the comfort of pretty much anywhere. Redfin knows a lot of people like you want to own, but are stuck in this browsing mode loop. That's where Redfin flips the script. With listings that update within minutes and tours you can book right from the Redfin app, you can see your dream home the moment it appears. Now, liking a listing is easy, but actually landing it, that's where Redfin comes in. Redfin has over 2,200 agents with local expertise. And Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. That means they want to help you win, not just window shop. Redfin is built to help you go from just looking to wait, this could actually be home. So become the newest neighbor on the block. Visit redfin.com to start finding and start owning. That's redfin.com.
We're back, and we're talking about Daniela, one of Keith Raniere's victims, probably his most hurt victim, of the people, at least that we're talking about today, the one who got fucked over the worst by Raniere.
Okay.
So once she turned 18 and was presumably thin enough for Keith's sexual energy, Vanguard called Daniela to tell her that it was time, and in the tradition of all great romances, he took her to an office building storage room to fuck.
No!
What? That's what women want. Now he's doing right there.
He is so rich at this point, isn't he?
Well, no, he lives a quiet church mouse-like existence, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. So, okay, storage room, best you can do?
Storage room. Well, that's what, I consider myself a romantic, and if I know one thing about women, it's that all of you desire the sheer erotic intimacy of an office building storage room.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you read erotic novels, and they are front to back just
storage rooms, boxes of hammer mill paper. Reams or like pallets of blue pins.
Yeah. There's a whole series about those storage units. Where you pick up what are those called?
The doors, like the metal doors that slide open. Yeah,
there's a thrill you could get stuck in there.
The smell of printer ink cartridges.
Oof.
That's why the most popular men's cologne brands are printer ink cartridge.
Oh yeah, I bought one just to smell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'll rub like one of those from a dot matrix on me before going out for a date. It
nice.
Really. Haven't had sex in years, but
that's just who you're around.
Unrelated. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, so they had their storage room liaison, and after this, Daniela was expected to constantly give Vanguard blowjobs several times per day. She alleges that she and her sister were forced to have group sex with Keith several times, saying, "We cried the whole time" in court. Yeah. Now, Daniela and 2 of her other sisters were impregnated by Keith Raniere, and he forced all 3 of them to have abortions, which he paid for. Daniela claims that after her abortion, Keith tried to raise her spirit by telling her that the operation was a good opportunity to lose more weight. Yeah, abortion will make you thin. He told her, quote, "Olympic athletes get abortions as part of training."
What? That's so crazy. Yeah. I mean, I can't. I guess at this point she's been groomed. She's like being deeply manipulated. She is brainwashed.
Yeah.
Where were her parents at this point?
Her parents are in the cult.
Oh,
yeah, they moved from Mexico to the U.S. to be a part of this thing.
Oh my God.
So yeah, they've clearly fallen for it, and by the time they meet, Keith's a guy in his 50s. She's 16, so he's got 2 of her lifetimes of experience just manipulating people. Yeah, and she's a fucking teenager.
Yeah, she's a kid.
Yeah. So Keith clearly took pains to make sure his sexual liaisons with Daniela and her sisters didn't start until they were of legal age. But she did allege, and authorities found, child pornography taken of the girls before they were of legal age.
I'm sure. This whole idea that he waited exactly until they were 18, I don't buy it.
Yeah. He definitely, at the very least, he had illegal porn of these girls before he started sleeping with them. It may have been one of those things where he convinced himself that if he waited to actually fuck until they were 18, that he'd be safe. But to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised.
He was probably sending dirty text messages.
He was definitely doing a lot of that.
Yeah.
It was, he was having her lose weight to be ready to fuck him for 2 years while she was a child.
That's true.
Which I don't know if that's exactly a crime, but it ought to be.
It ought to be.
That's
Let
what
this be a precedent.
Add that to the books.
Yeah.
So essentially, Daniela, at one point after starting her relationship with Keith Raniere, expressed an interest in a man who was not Keith Raniere. She apparently kissed a male NXIVM member, and that made him furious. He told her that she wasn't pure anymore. Then he threw her across the room and left her lying on the floor.
Oh my God.
She said, "The world closed in on me. Every degree of freedom I had was lost." Daniela was imprisoned in a bedroom for 2 years, locked outside of where her family was living, but didn't see her family for 2 years, even though they were living in the same house. Was locked in a bedroom.
This is...
Yeah.
Now I see what you mean.
Yeah.
That's...
fucked
next level.
Yeah. Keith billed Daniela's imprisonment as a solution to her problem behavior. Salzman testified to this. Quote, "Keith told me that she was stealing and that she had said she was going to lose weight and instead gained 40 pounds. Daniela would spend days at a time in the room, sitting against the wall, trying not to scream. She would count days and pour through her memories just to try and stay sane. Salzman claims she helped Vanguard punish Daniela because she was convinced it would help her prove to him that she could be a good mother. We were incredibly abusive to Daniela. Everything she did, we shot down. Nothing she could do was the right thing. Of all the things I did in this case and all the crimes that I admitted to, this was the worst thing I did," which I think she's accurate about.
Yeah. So what's with this candor? Is she in prison?
She pled guilty. Yeah, she pled guilty. I think to racketeering is what they got her on.
Wow.
So,
because you would think she would be like, "Oh, I did what I had to do," but she's being so frank.
She is being frank, and it is entirely possible. People do come to realizations that they did fucked up things and feel legitimately bad about them, and maybe that happened in Salzman's case.
Kind of sounds...
I get the feeling with her more than I do with Allison Mack, who we'll talk about more later.
Oh, absolutely.
But at the same time, it is important to remember Salzman was an integral part of NXIVM's leadership for a long time.
Right. Just because she might feel some contrition doesn't mean it wasn't fucked up.
Yeah, it was very fucked up. does seem very possible she feels some real contrition.
Wow.
I don't know the person. While Daniela seems to have gotten the very worst of Vanguard, every member of the DOS women's group, the so-called slaves, were victims of Raniere, as well as, in many cases, perpetrators in their own right. Members were expected to provide their mentors, higher-level slaves, with collateral ranging from naked pictures of themselves to, in at least one case, a false confession of prostitution addressed to the slave's mother. That's a nice thing to make. Yeah, they needed collateral so that if these people like left the group or spoke about it to the press, it would be released. That was the idea, to control them. In a lot of cases, it was naked photos. At least one woman said Keith had her write out a confession to like working as a prostitute that would be like sent to her mom if she. Oh my
God! Yeah. You would never think that in the moment, but like stepping back, those things seem not that powerful of blackmail, because it's like once you escaped, you would be like, that was blackmail. I had to get out of a cult. Also, naked pictures is less of a...
This is one of the things that I think might get better about society after we get used to deep fakes. Like, it's going to be a rough couple of years at the start, but eventually it's like, who cares if you've got her naked pictures? Like, you can have anyone's naked pictures at any point. It takes 7 seconds to make the algorithm.
Real. Yeah. And not just pictures, videos.
Not just pictures, videos, and maybe we all just stop. Maybe everyone just stops wearing clothing. Maybe we're just hanging out our genitals for the rest of time. And
I feel like you're kind of proposing that.
I am. What I'm proposing is that the next set of presidential debates, everybody's naked.
Oh my God, that would
everybody's naked.
Level the playing field so much.
It would. Donald Trump would not have made it far.
Absolutely not.
Not.
Even
weirdly
clothed, I don't know how people
Jeb
stomach
Bush
it.
would have done a lot better.
I believe that.
You got to see the guy's abs. Like a fucking cheese grater.
Hey, I believe it. The poor guy, he probably works out these days.
Shreds it at the gym. Mad gains.
He's got a lot of regret that he's working out at the gym.
He's just listening to Fort Minor and doing crunches for hours.
I will say the idea of all these people naked is making me slightly nauseous.
It should.
But it would be for the greater good of democracy, so we have to do it.
And also, cops should always be naked.
That would be crazy.
Think of how different that world would be.
I don't know. I feel like it would lead to maybe more sexual assault.
It might. I feel like it would lead to less shootings, though, because less cops are going to pull people over. Because then they
they're too embarrassed.
Yeah, exactly. So...
Yeah.
I feel like you might get a net good out of that. But there's probably some more sexual assault.
We don't have to bring it
maybe we shouldn't analyze this theory of mine too
much.
These
are supposed to be the moments of levity.
Yeah, these are the moments of levity.
That's on me.
So this Dropbox folder of collateral was kept organized by Smallville actress Allison Mack. The slaves who sexually serviced Mr. Raniere were all put on extreme weight loss plans in order to make themselves into Vanguard's idea of a perfect woman. They started on 1,000-calorie diets that were gradually restricted down to just 500 calories per day.
That's nothing.
That's not enough to survive. Victims would be ordered to send photos of their meals to mentors and ask permission before being allowed to eat. But of course, Keith himself was not required to abide by his own rules for his slaves, according to the BBC. While he demanded the women around him remain excruciatingly thin, the Vanguard reportedly ate pizza around the clock and cakes galore, picking out on potato chips and hot sauce flown in from his devotees around the world.
Jesus Christ.
Well, why wouldn't he be able to eat stuff?
Yeah, flown in.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
At least do some fucking crunches if you're gonna... Sorry, I don't want to say that he should be more like Jeb Bush, but...
Maybe he should. You know what? Jeb Bush, all things considered, nice guy. Married to a Latina, speaks Spanish. Then again, a lot of people speak Spanish these days who are running for president.
A lot of people speak Spanish these days. That's the big thing in presidency.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be fucking awesome if Elizabeth Warren just dropped like a 10-minute speech in Dothraki at the next debate. Just go weird with it.
Cool.
And then like Cory Booker starts arguing in Klingon and it's just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, he gives her that sassy look that he gave to Beto.
Yeah.
And then he starts speaking in Klingon.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Now, in our prior episodes, we talked about the branding routines also required for DOS members. They were pressured in large group settings to spend half an hour naked being filmed while a cauterizing pen was used to scar a stylized brand of Keith Raniere's initials into their pelvises. The court testimony revealed that victims were told the brand stood for the 4 elements, air, earth, and water, and the pen represented fire. A recording was played in court of Keith discussing how to arrange the branding procedure with one of his high-level followers. According to CNN, he asked at one point, "Do you think the person who's being branded branded should be completely nude or sort of held to the table, like a sort of almost like a sacrifice. That's cool.
He had lost his mind.
He had lost his goddamn mind.
Yeah. I think he started out as a normal grifter, but then became an insane person.
It always, like, you can't live that way and not lose your fucking skull. Yeah.
Right. People worshiping you is a cancer. I think that's true.
As is power in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Salzman testified that branding victims were required to submit photos of themselves after the procedure, which Alice and Mac dutifully added to their Dropbox files. The photo had to be fully frontal naked. Our brands had to show, and we had to look happy in uniform, one victim reported. According to the Daily Beast, quote, if any slave displeased Raniere, he would kick or whip them before threatening to release their collateral photos saved under a Dropbox named Brands, according to Salzman.
God.
And also testified on Monday that Raniere had plans to jail women in a dungeon as a form of punishment. He said the jail cell was for people most committed to growth. They would get locked in a cage, she said on Monday. I was a slave with Keith as my master, Salzman said, adding that she was forced to keep the role of Raniere, who they had to call Grand Master, a secret, and the society demanded a lifetime of obedience to your master.
This is the worst case scenario of 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to say. Maybe he got off on the idea of torturing these women because the dungeon thing is like...
he has to have gotten off on it a little bit.
You're envisioning like a medieval dungeon, and that is delighting you.
For most committed to growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is fucking nuts.
Wow.
The group would meet 3 times a week in a sorority house, and whenever Raniere attended, the women had to strip naked, get on the floor, and look up to him while he delivered lectures on matters ranging from his vision for DOS to write a book, to recruitment, to his intent to create a dungeon where slaves would totally surrender themselves. Cool stuff. Sounds like fun meetings.
I can't imagine it going that far. I mean, that's how these things work. I just can't imagine being in the room when all of a sudden it's like, we're all branded.
Yeah.
Someone just got whipped, and he's talking about the dungeon he's about to build.
It's all these little steps that lead up to it, you know? Like, that's
true.
the thing. Like,
that's how it happens.
Yeah.
That's how you get sucked up in a cult. I think I'm probably involved in, like, 4 different almost cults if I look around closely.
You do whip a lot of people, and I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
I do.
Yeah, you whip a lot of people, Anna.
I do. I carry one around with me.
Yeah, like Hitler.
Oh, you're right.
Yep.
Oh no, I've got to get rid of that.
Yeah, you really gotta get with maybe just one day a week. Take the whip out.
Yeah. No, I gotta give it to Goodwill. I do. It's
Goodwill in LA has a really vibrant whip section.
You know they do.
Oh yeah,
next to like their 5,000 different forks.
Yeah, the Santa Monica Goodwill.
Stuff.
Yeah, kitchen stuff and whips. Yeah.
Yep.
Another Raniere victim who took the stand is known in court documents as Jay. She took her first NXIVM class on August 2016, and it was a 5-day intensive in Albany. Jay found this course helpful, so she got more involved with the cult. Before long, she wound up in DOS, forced to hand over collateral pictures along with sexy pictures of herself on the first of every month, which she described as being like rent for membership in the cult. Mark Agnifilio, Raniere's attorney, insisted that all of this, the mind games and punishments and collateral photos, were part of Keith's self-improvement program. He claimed people signed up for it willingly. They were not there to go shopping. They are there to make their lives better. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you want to convince people to do all these awful, awful things and have awful things done to them, you say it's for self-growth.
Yeah, that's...
Hey.
Classic grift.
I'm doing the artist way right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about creative growth and self-reflection and growth. And you're bringing up some of these buzzwords, and I am uncomfortable about how much they resonate with me.
There's certain phrases that are like shortcuts to tricking people into taking extreme action. And it's why I worry about... the use of certain very specific words, and growth is one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been using that word so much since I started reading The Artist's Way.
Yeah, it's
just
not inherently
today
bad.
I've said it 16 times trying to pitch someone on the book.
Yeah, it just always it doesn't mean don't listen to anything that like has that phrase in it or like talks about it, but like be really careful when people start talking about that.
It's attached to a lot of things.
Because like that's you wonder like how all these women got into a point where they're letting someone brand them as like sacrifice victims. It was because like it was all framed as growth, and like it didn't start there, but it started as like this period of like, okay, growth means pain. Like if you want to grow into a more fit healthy person, you go to the gym and that hurts, and dieting hurts, and you want to build a career, in Hollywood or whatever, and you have to make a lot of sacrifices, and those hurt, and
right, yeah.
But that's how all of these people get you. So just everyone talking about growth, every self-help plan isn't a cult, but be really fucking careful when you start wading into those waters.
Yeah,
because there's sharks in there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. You know where there's not sharks?
Products and services.
Products and services.
Yes.
Not sharks. Dick Pills are, which are one of our sponsors now. Him's Dick Pills.
I've heard. Yeah.
Wonderful stuff. And again, this is a free ad for them. I don't know. It could be a Microsoft ad. Could be Coca-Cola's ad.
We're just leading in with that.
I'm just very enthusiastic about Dick Pills. They don't promise you. They do promise growth, but in a way that is very predictable.
Right. Scientific growth.
Scientific growth.
Verifiable. Yeah.
Dick Pills.
That's great.
Products.
Not a scam.
Not a scam.
Yeah.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Time for a sofa upgrade? Introducing Anna Sofas, where designer style meets budget-friendly prices. Anna brings you the ultimate in furniture innovation with a modular design that allows you to rearrange your space effortlessly. Perfect for both small and large spaces, Anna is the only machine-washable sofa inside and out. Say goodbye to stains and messes with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics that make cleaning easy. Liquids simply slide right off. Designed for custom comfort, our high-resilience foam lets you choose between a sink-in feel or a supportive memory foam blend. Plus, our pet-friendly, stain-resistant fabrics ensure your sofa stays beautiful for years. Don't compromise quality for price. Visit washablesofas.com to upgrade your living space today. Sofas start at just $699 with no risk returns and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get up to 60% off plus free shipping and free returns. Shop now at washablesofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Hey, this is U.S. Olympic gold medalist Tara Davis-Woodhull.
And I'm U.S. Paralympic gold medalist Hunter Woodhull.
As athletes, our lives are about having a clear path.
And a team that you can absolutely trust.
So when it came to getting the best mortgage,
we chose PennyMac.
PennyMac is proud to be the official mortgage provider of Team USA and you.
Learn more at pennymac.com. PennyMac Loan Services, LLC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 35953. Licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Conditions and restrictions may apply.
Let's talk about modern home shopping. It's sort of become a fun side hobby, right? Scrolling listings at night, dreaming about kitchens you've never seen, or backyards you haven't even stepped foot in, all from the comfort of pretty much anywhere. Redfin knows a lot of people like you want to own, but are stuck in this browsing mode loop. That's where Redfin flips the script. With listings that update within minutes and tours you can book right from the Redfin app, you can see your dream home the moment it appears. Now, liking a listing is easy, but actually landing it, that's where Redfin comes in. Redfin has over 2,200 agents with local expertise. And Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. That means they want to help you win, not just window shop. Redfin is built to help you go from just looking to wait, this could actually be home. So become the newest neighbor on the block. Visit redfin.com to start finding and start owning. That's redfin.com.
We're back! We're talking about things that are, in fact, scams. So we were talking about Jay, who took the stage to talk about her time in Keith Raniere's cult. I'm going to quote from Forbes here. Her perspective changed after her master invited her into a shared Dropbox account where all the slaves in her group submitted nude photos of themselves and other compromising information each month. It got scary, Jay said, explaining how she would eventually realize that the photos could be used to blackmail her. Jay testified that she first considered Allison Mack a caring and good person who would help her with her acting career, but soon found her to be emotionally abusive, vindictive, and manipulative. Now, Mack seems to have been one of the key members of this group and was like one of the top level slaves. So she was a slave to Raniere, but she was a master to all of these women and was responsible for keeping them in line.
Right.
So again, Keith is abusing all of these women, but he's also using them to abuse each other in sort of like this tiered system because he just doesn't have all the time to do that.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Herbalife of sex cults.
It's the Herbalife of sex cults.
Yeah.
Yeah. Downlines and shit. Jay was eventually ordered to move from Los Angeles to a house near Albany with Raniere in his inner circle. On the surface, it was so that Keith could help her launch a t-shirt brand.
How delightful.
How delightful. But once she arrived, she found herself trapped in a weird sex cult of women who were all clearly being ordered to starve themselves. Jay noticed that many of them were losing their hair, so she joined them, sending in her weight to Raniere each morning and restricting herself to the same 500-calorie diet.
Wow.
Yeah. Jay testified that volleyball was Keith's very favorite sport, and in true narcissistic fashion, he required everyone to watch him play. DOS members would dress in their best clothes and put on makeup to watch Keith play fucking volleyball.
Against who?
Against, I don't know. I guess whoever.
Other people.
There were men in the group too, so it was probably some of them. During breaks in the play, the women of DOS would line up so Raniere could kiss them each on the lips and take walks with them one-on-one to talk about their progress.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is so weird. Wow.
So again, Allison Mack was the person managing Jay and eventually told her that she had been tasked with seducing Keith Raniere. She insisted this was an honor and a privilege. She was asked to seduce Keith until he took a naked photo of her and sent it to Allison Mack as proof. This seems to be what finally shook Jay out of her involvement in the cult. Everything was crumbling. It was my worst nightmare come to life, that it would be a cult and someone would want to sleep with me. And that's what it was.
Yeah. The somebody would want to sleep with me was sort of the fundamental part of this.
When we were starving ourselves, I didn't know if that was a cult. But yeah, there's a fucking... I guess everybody has that in a cult, that like moment of like, oh shit, this is a cult.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. And everybody gets sucked into things. I guess I can see if everyone around you is doing this stupid 500 calorie, literally wasting away diet, the pressure. Because I even feel it. God, I mean, I feel it when I hang out with like skinny friends and stuff, and they're like, I'm just going to get a salad. Oh, I don't need dinner. I'm like, I feel like such a fucking cow ordering my fried whatever.
Yeah.
Fried pickles.
Yeah, I feel that way anytime I go to a gym in Los Angeles where everybody
God.
looks like they were poured into a fucking mold.
This is the worst place to go to gyms.
It's heartbreaking.
Literal fitness models go to the gyms.
Going to Oregon for gyms? Great. Going to a gym in Los Angeles where it's like nothing but fitness models and stuff?
It's the worst.
Yeah, it's
oh my
terrible.
God. I'm on a treadmill and both sides of me are beautiful, gorgeous, tall models.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me want to keep going.
Yeah, where there's guys just like casually bench pressing 300 pounds and like look like they walked out of an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Like look like somebody who fights John Wick. And
they
like,
really,
it's
who
just like,
fights
okay,
John Wick?
Yeah, great.
And and they probably do.
Yeah, and they probably do. Some of them literally fight John Wick.
Yes.
Yeah. Jay managed to escape the cult without ever actually completing her assignment to seduce Keith Raniere. On the stand, Raniere's defense attorney clarified that Jay was only asked to seduce Keith, not sleep with him, because that makes it better.
Okay.
That's a good defense to prosecution.
You know what? I don't believe it.
You don't believe that?
I don't buy it.
Not buying it?
I think it was... I mean, maybe he was like really into edging.
Yeah, maybe he was really into edging. Yeah.
I'll give it some water then. Like, sure. Can you say that phrase like that? Holds water? I'll give it some water.
We'll give it a little bit of water. Hold. We'll see if it'll hold it.
Okay.
Now, there are many other horrific details. One 31-year-old woman who took the stand claimed that Raniere blindfolded her, tied her up, and made her lie on a cold table while another slave went down on her against her will. This woman claimed that she did not fight, obeying Allison Mack's order to be a good slave.
This is the part where it's like lots of rape happened.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of rape that happened. Yeah,
that's sad.
Salzman and Mack both eventually pled guilty to charges of racketeering, conspiracy. Both seem to have turned against their guru. During her testimony, Salzman went into brutal detail about the things she and Raniere forced people to do. She told stories of women forced to stand barefoot in the snow or locked in a cage. She admitting to forcing Valium on a slave who had what she described as a psychotic break, which I'm going to guess was actually just a woman reacting totally reasonably to the fucked up things Keith Raniere was forcing them to do.
Someone being like, finally, get me out of here.
No, you did not medicate someone having a mental health issue. You drugged someone who realized they were put in a horrible position.
I mean, look, if I'm to believe her, fine, then you drove someone to a mental break.
To a mental break, which is also possible.
Yeah.
After hearing all this, the Brooklyn jury tasked with deciding Vanguard's fate did not need a lot of time to make their decision. After 4.5 hours, they returned a 4-page verdict, finding Raniere guilty of all 7 charges, according to the New York Times. Celebration ensued. Prosecutors on the case hugged and kissed cheeks. Former NXIVM follower...
What a weird detail.
What a weird detail. Former NXIVM followers who had later turned on their leader pushed into the hallway to continue the jubilee. Mark Agnifilio, one of Mr. Raniere's defense lawyers, later told news media that when Mr. Raniere learned of the quick turnaround, he remarked, "That's not justice."
Well, okay.
Yeah, this feels a little bit like justice to me.
Yeah. Of course they were going to walk away from that and think he was guilty.
Yeah.
The details are so damning.
And horrible.
And specific.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make that shit up.
No. And there's, like, phone conversations and text messages.
The fact that it's a Dropbox.
There's a Dropbox full of evidence of people, like, full of blackmail material.
What a 2019 crime.
Very 2019 crime.
They're using Dropbox for blackmail.
And social media's cuts both ways. It can help you maintain your cult, but
I just don't understand why you would use Dropbox when you could just use Google or Gmail.
You're a Google Drive head.
You know, I do have a Dropbox.
Look, I'm gonna advise. I'm not getting funded by Dropbox, but I'm gonna advise my listeners: if you start a sex cult and you need a place to keep your blackmail, Dropbox.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it has that desktop feature where you can use your desktop to move a file. Mm-hmm. So if you have a big nude photograph that takes up a lot of space, you want that feature. You
do want that feature.
I convinced myself into using Dropbox.
You convinced it for your sex cult. Yeah.
For my sex cult, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But mine won't be a bad one. It won't be like...
No, it'll be a good...
non-consensual.
Yeah, mine will be a good sex cult until the FDA starts firing grenades in us. Yeah.
Man, what do you have to do to anger the FDA?
I really want to piss the FDA enough that they burn us out.
I think you have to go around selling bootleg medicine. Are you comfortable with that?
I feel like a lot of people do that and the FDA doesn't do anything.
That's true.
It's going to be hard to push them that far, but I'm going to try.
I think you could.
I think I could.
Yeah, I want to see what it looks like when they militarize.
That's the goal. Is to get the FDA tanks.
They shoot pills at you?
Yeah.
Or like certified meat products?
Yeah,
through the woods?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like if I really play my cards right, I could get the FDA to assault ATF headquarters, and then, then I've won. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so you told me earlier you wanted to run for president at some point. It sounds like after all this unfolds is the time to run for president.
Yeah, after I've gotten the FDA to take down the ATF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, because there's like a vacuum at that point. Mm-hmm. So much infighting. You just swoop right in. You'll have been in the Adirondacks for 7 weeks, so you'll be strong. Mm-hmm. You'll be full of natural foods.
Well, yeah, and I feel like if I attack the FDA enough that I make them come after me, there's a way to do that as negging, to where eventually they just crave my approval enough,
I don't know,
and then that's my private army.
You're sounding a lot like Keith right now.
It's not ineffective. You just have to get it to a positive goal, like turning the FDA into a second branch of the military.
You got to neg the right people.
Yeah,
I need to improve my ability to neg the right people.
We all do, and that's how I'm going to start my cult, is just teaching other people how to neg.
It sounds like you're describing the game.
Shit. I keep doing that.
You're going to be, what's his name, Mystery?
Yeah.
And teach young virgin men how to neg women into bed.
But in my case, it's going to be how to neg the FDA into arming. Yeah.
Into arming, right. Yeah. It's the same thing.
It's the same goal.
These are small semantic details.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, Anna, that's the story of Keith Raniere. He's going to appeal. But I think there's probably about a 95% chance motherfucker dies in a cell.
He definitely will.
Which is great. Fuck him.
What an interesting thing to have, I guess, some semblance of a happy ending to one of your stories.
It does seem like that. It seems like he got a thorough amount of, obviously he was allowed to continue for too long and he really fucked up a lot of people's lives.
Right.
But like as much justice as could be gotten after this point seems to have been gotten. Like he's never going to get out of prison. His crimes have been exhaustively detailed. His victims have gotten their day in court looking at him in the face and then seeing him sentenced. That's about as good as it gets in one of these cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any, I wonder, this seems too good to be true. Is there any aftermath, any followers of NXIVM that are going out and spreading his good word?
Well, the one kind of downside is that QAnon has really embraced this because they have convinced themselves there's big ties between Keith Raniere and Hillary Clinton, which there aren't. There just aren't.
Yeah, that would be insane.
Yeah.
How would those connections even happen?
And there's a bunch of people, like a bunch of talk in QAnon boards about, like, the mainstream media is ignoring the Raniere verdict. And it's like, no, dude. Like, the New York Times published a bunch of front page. The Daily Beast has covered it exhaustively. Like,
people care to a degree.
People cared to a degree. We're doing a third episode on him.
Exactly.
Like, no one's covering this up. It just has nothing to do with global politics.
So they think it's connected, but...
To the whole all Democrats are pedophiles thing, they believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's one more reason the Democrats are pedophiles. Wow. Yeah. That's picking and choosing cult leaders you want to use as ammo.
This is fucked up enough without, like, pretending it's other things.
You spend a lot of time on those message boards,
I spend way too much time on those message boards.
Is it chilling?
Yeah, it's unsettling.
Because I read your tweets where you talk about, like, just so you guys know.
Just so you know what's going on in 8chan.
And I definitely don't, because 8chan, so 4chan is here right after Reddit, and then 8chan is even insaner. Do you have to, like, prove yourself to get on 8chan?
No, anyone can view it. Like, it's one of those things, if you start posting there and you haven't lurked for a long time, they'll pick you out.
And they'll be like, get out of here?
They'll make fun of you and tell you to lurk more. Like, it's one of those things where
Really?
it's essentially the same thing as, like, a foreign language. Like, if you're if you walk like if you're Beto O'Rourke and you start talking in Spanish in a debate, people will know, like, okay, this isn't a guy who's grew up speaking Spanish.
Exactly.
It's like that, like with these lingos. But the 8chan chunks that talk about QAnon are a lot different, because their goal is to get a lot of, like, older people and boomers and stuff to, like, keep posting and, like, draw them in further and further. So they actually have a lot of conversations about, like, how to welcome older people who are getting, like, sucked into QAnon and stuff.
Really?
So, like, yeah, it's weird. You've got, like, these chunks of 8chan that are, like, literal neo-Nazis who are so online that it's broken their brains. And then you've got, like, grandmas, like, pouring over Q drops and stuff. It's
really
everything's so weird.
Getting pulled in more and more.
Yeah, and those people believe that Keith Raniere is a front of the Democratic Party.
Are you just a lurker?
Yeah, I just lurk. I don't post.
Right, because what would you post?
Why would I even
draw
bother?
attention?
Yeah, it would. There's nothing to gain from it.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you think? I know this is a little off topic, but do you think that this is a growing problem?
Oh, for sure.
It's like,
I mean, they've killed like 52 people have been killed this year, and
that gets fostered on the boards.
Yeah, I mean the Christchurch shooting and the Poway shooting in the poll boards, and you know, QAnon. There's been 2 shootings and 2 murders in the last year. So yeah,
wow.
So I guess 54 dead. You could tie to the.
I feel like
boards.
you're like a soldier in the message board army.
Oh, it's a really dumb war if that's the case.
Going out and doing reconnaissance.
Really stupid war. Oh boy.
But real.
No, I won. No, just really dumb and frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know how you have the patience for it. I can't even like go to Breitbart and remain sane.
No, you know, we all pick our own private hells. Keith Raniere's picked his private hell.
Right.
I've picked mine, and it's browsing 8chan until the FDA finally comes for me. And you've picked improv, you know?
And oh, what a private hell it is.
What a private hell it is.
I mean,
actually,
come check
not
out
a private
show,
hell.
But it's a very public
hell. A hell where you throw yourself in front of people.
Yeah, my suffering is both private and public, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, Anna, this is the end of our episode. Do you have any pluggables to plug at the end of this this little journey we take? And
check me out on Instagram, my comic, Bad Comics with an X by Anna with 2 N's. Same handle on Twitter. And I perform at UCB, which is Upright Citizens Brigade here in LA. mildly occult, but also funny shows. So you can look at my, I don't know, profile, or I post about shows. Come to one.
You can find me at iWriteOK on Twitter, which is a little bit of a cult. If you want to help me in my quest to arm the FDA and get them to take down the ATF, maybe hit me up there.
You are starting a cult right now.
That is the goal. Yeah. I've committed now.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck it,
Okay.
In for a penny, in for a pound. I'm crossing that Rubicon.
They're not all bad.
Let fly the dice.
They can be good.
A good cult, a positive cult with the goal of getting tanks for the FDA.
Okay.
Yeah. You can find us on the internet at behindthebastards.com. We will have the sources for this episode. You can also find us on the grams and the twits at @bastardspod. You can buy t-shirts, cups, stickers, and maybe other products that will help me in my goals. I feel like we've joked enough about the FDA thing, so I'm just gonna let that thread drop.
I'm drinking coffee out of a Behind the Bastards mug.
It's good. Fortifies it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel smarter just
There's a
drinking
lot
out
of vitamins in that. I probably can't lie about that. But the FDA will come after me.
Yes.
Vitamins are in the mugs. Drink the mugs, get vitamins.
It's like an iron skillet.
I will say these mugs will cure your diseases.
Wow.
Yep.
This episode's gonna get pulled.
Come at me, motherfuckers. All right, episode's over.
Time for a sofa upgrade? Introducing Anna sofas, where designer style meets budget-friendly prices. Anna brings you the ultimate in furniture innovation with a modular design that allows you to rearrange your space effortlessly. Perfect for both small and large spaces, Anna is the only machine-washable sofa inside and out. Say goodbye to stains and messes with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics that make cleaning easy. Liquid simply slide right off. Designed for custom comfort, our high-resilience foam lets you choose between a sink-in feel or a supportive memory foam blend. Plus, our pet-friendly, stain-resistant fabrics ensure your sofa stays beautiful for years. Don't compromise quality for price. Visit washablesofas.com to upgrade your living space today. Sofas start at just $699 with no risk returns and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get up to 60% off, plus free shipping and free returns. Shop now at washablesofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
You're listening to a podcast, so you're doing something else too, like maybe scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving places you like without thinking you'll get them, because that's what house hunting has become. But Redfin isn't built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, which means when you find a place you love, you've got a real shot at getting it. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
This is Radhi Devlukia from A Really Good Cry. I absolutely love getting outside, whether it's a quick walk or a mindful few steps between meetings, or even a longer run to just clear my head. But the one thing that can really ruin that for me is shoes that just don't feel right. That's why I started wearing Ultra Running. With the Ultra Fit, every step feels comfortable, balanced, and strong. Like my feet can finally move freely. What really stood out to me was the roomy toe box. My toes actually now have room to spread out, which makes movement feel more natural and comfortable. And when your feet aren't cramped, you feel more balanced, like every step has a strong, stable foundation. I've noticed that with extra space, my foot muscles get to work building strength, so I can actually move with more confidence. Ultra fits and moves with you no matter your pace or your goals. Beginner or marathon runner, they've really become my go-to for any kind of running or training, and I always feel like my feet can do exactly what they're meant to do. Feel the difference by visiting ultrarunning.com and use my code CRY10 for 10% off. That's ultra, A-L-T-R-A, running.com. Experience Ultra and stay out there.
This is Angela Yee from Way Up with Angela Yee. Y'all, Black Girl Vitamins is completely changing the wellness game for us. You know our bodies don't move the same as we get older, and health becomes even more important. BGV, Black Girl Vitamins, is giving us all the supplements we need to stay healthy. I've seen hundreds of ladies online raving about their tasteless collagen powder that made their joint pain practically disappear. I had to try it myself, and y'all, it is the truth. If your body needs help bouncing back, go ahead and check their products out on blackgirlvitamins.co and get 20% off using code Angela Yee.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.